Getting ready to repair this drill. I'm guessing it needs new bushings in it, or brushes. It needs new brushes. I've had it for about 10 years and it finally died and quit working. First thing you want to do is remove the battery out of it. Then the next step, in this back housing plate, you've got 4 screws. You want to take those out. And I use a screwdriver with it's called a T10. Well, finally started getting this apart. Had to use a screwdriver with a little tiny star-like end because I didn't have any others that would fit into here on this front housing. So after you got your back off, and I can see the brushes are shot because one of them don't even have a brush in it. It's almost totally gone. A little more trouble getting the housing apart because this has got a bigger area right down here, and it doesn't, you can't hardly get nothing in there to get that screw out. When you start splitting this apart, the decal, whatever you want to call it, is stuck together, so you want to be careful when you start taking it apart and use a screwdriver to gradually get it apart. Unbelievable how dirty a drill can be inside. You don't think about that, but it's filthy. What all you have to do to get this whole piece out of here and be able to get this other piece off. Be able to pull this cap out of here. It's down in a little slot. This one doesn't have the screws in it like supposedly the newer ones have. So it looks like I got to cut the wires. May have to go in here where the trigger's at and resolder it. Another thing I decided to try to do, but I want to show you, this is the old set. You can see the brushes, they're not even, they're way out. I mean, this got a little tension. This one has a little bit of tension. This one has none, it's complete zero. And same way with this one, so apparently, I mean, that's all there is. Apparently it wasn't even rubbing together. Here's what a new set looked like. You can see the difference compared to the old set. I'm hoping this is the answer for it. These are put in by these little tiny screws, and then you have to take out the trigger and the whole mechanism and solder it down in there. But luckily for me, at least I'm hoping it works that way, I have these other little clips that are similar size to those, just a hair bigger. And these are just screwed in. So I'm taking these out and I'm putting this other little bit bigger ones in there, hoping it all fits together, and crimping them onto their original wires. That way I don't have to solder them in. You also have a right and a left on this, and it says so on there. So you put your black wire and your red wire in the right spot. So I'm just now trying to get these screwed back in. I put those other little pieces, terminals, on top of it. Also, this trigger housing, it wants to come apart out from under the trigger itself. So you want to make sure you slip that back on. Then you want to move, you got to move your brushes. Get this flipped around on here. Your wires in here will be out. So you got to get these apart. Get your brushes started down in there over this housing. Once you get this brush set over on here, you want to make sure it goes all the way down, all the way in, so that it's making contact, and it fits down inside of a little slot right in here. And you want to make sure these wires are all tucked back down in here, so when you get them put back together, you'll be able to close it a lot easier. Not having the right little tool that goes in there, it takes a little tiny one. This is a T10, whatever that really means, but very small. But if I put it on the end of a drill or an extension, it won't fit on this old one because this rim is too thick. So I got this screwdriver. You can see I got to have it at a big tilt just to be able to get it in there, but at least I'm able to make it work. On the newer one, this outer housing isn't as big and as thick as that is. So you put these front ones in first, get them tightened up before you tighten up your side ones. And this doesn't just fall back in place like you think. I've probably been messing with it for 15 minutes trying to get it to close up because something, a little piece of plastic or something, kept it from wanting to be able to move. I'm not sure why. Then finally it just fell into place. And then here in the end, this is a ball bearing on the back of the drill, and it fits inside of this little housing right here. Hold everything in place. Well, here's a the minute of truth. Find out if this one I just repaired was worth fixing for $11. I know these things aren't cheap. And it does work. Does everything it's supposed to do. So the brushes cost me like $11.20 on eBay, and was somewhat a pain to fix, but it's worth $11. Now I got two drills, even though I bought this one because I thought I was going to be throwing this away. So definitely well worth spending $11 and repairing it. But this other older one here is about 8-10 years old. It's a little bigger, and it definitely is a little stronger. And these numbers go to 22. These numbers go to 16. This is definitely a little bit better than years ago.